Here we have some common icons.
What we're going to do is pick a couple of these and I'm going to recreate them for you just to show you how easy it is to do that. So here we are on a slide and I've picked out 3, 6, 9 different icons that we're going to rebuild. This is the search or the zoom icon. This is zoom out. This is zoom in. We've got the hamburger menu. We've got a menu icon here. We've got 2 different versions of a document, and then we have a lock and an unlock icon. So we're going to start with the easy ones and we're going to work our way across. So the first thing is this magnifying glass icon here. So if we click our circle inside of our shapes and we hold down shift, which will give us a circle, we have that. And then we would fill it with nothing. It needs to be clear, or you could fill it with white. Doesn't matter. We happen to have white background. And then we're going to give it a black outline. So now the only other thing we need to do is draw that little line right there. And so that would be something like that. And again, the outline is black. So we'll put it here, right up against the edge. And it looks like it's kind of at a 45-degree angle. Now you got to watch out with this kind of stuff, because if you zoom in real close, see how they're not lined up? You have to line them right up. There you go. And there you have your magnifying glass icon. Now we'll go to the next step to create the zoom out, which is basically taking this line and we're going to duplicate it. So we're going to copy it and then we're going to paste it and we're going to make it horizontal. And we're going to put that horizontal line right in the middle, like so. Now you basically have this. Now if you wanted to, you could make these outlines a little thicker just to give them a little more beef, and you could actually do that on all of these items here. Oops, there you go. And under the weight, and we'll go a little thicker, like so. And now all you have to do is copy this, paste it again, and under format, if you rotate it, we'll rotate it 90 degrees, and now we'll line them up together. There you go. Now you have your zoom in. The other thing you can do here is you can group these, and when you right click and click group, now it's one item that you can, it's one item you can move around. It moves all of them. The other thing that happens is when you scale it, they stay connected. So that's that. So this is a series of rounded rectangles. So that's this icon right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to put our rounded rectangle out here. And you can see it's much more rounded here than it is here. Well, if you zoom in on this, there's a yellow circle. And by grabbing that, it allows us to round these edges much more. And again, we'll give it a shape fill of no fill. And we'll give it a black outline. And we can shrink this up a little bit probably. And we can make that a little thinner. Now if you copy that and paste it 3 times, line them up. There you go. We have some tools available to us over here under the Format tab under the Align here. So we can align them all to the left. So now they're lined up evenly. They should all be the same size because they were copy and pasted from each other. And now we also have a Distribute tool. So under Distribute vertically, there's 3 items there. It will take the ends and it'll move the middle one to be in the middle. And there you go. See, it moved just a little bit. Okay, so that's this one here. Now let's look at this one. All this one is it's 3 different circles added to it. So again, we'll just create our circle right here. Kind of like that. Is that about the right size? It looks a little big. So we will make it a little smaller. And again, a shape fill of none and the line of black. And we will paste it 3 times. Move that over. Grab this one, move it over. And now go back to our Format tab and we will align them to the left And we will distribute them vertically. And you can move them closer if you want. Kind of like that. There you go. Now we've created that. And it looks like these are not as long, so we can shrink that up to maybe something like that. But there you go. We've now done 5 icons so far just using shapes. Now we're going to get a little more complicated, and we're going to create this shape. And it's also a rounded rectangle and a triangle, but the difficult piece is this corner over here, because we have to remove that. So let's go ahead and we will grab our rounded rectangle and put it on the screen here. Now remember the little yellow dot? If we go this way, we're creating a circle. We want to go the other way to make a much more rounded document like that. And we're going to give it a fill of none, and we'll give it an outline of black. Okay, so now we need a triangle to go here. We don't want this triangle. What we want is this triangle, which is a right triangle. And it will probably go somewhere right in here like so. And again, a shape fill of nothing and a line of black. You kind of have to line it up a little so it works properly. There you go. So remember, as I said, you just have to get rid of this triangle. Well, we can do one of 2 things. We can copy this and paste it, and we can flip it like so. And we can put it here and fill it with white and give it an outline of white, and then we can adjust it as we need to cover the pieces that we don't want to see. That's certainly an option. But you can tell that that's a little difficult, and it's certainly not as graceful as what we would want to accomplish, right? But there it is. That's the icon. So let's delete that. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to use a square, and we're going to crop off this piece, and we're going to literally remove it from the shape. So we're going to go like this, create our little rectangle, and we're going to angle it so that it's angled just right. I'm going to slide it in there. And what we're going to do is we're going to crop that piece out that's under it. We want to crop this piece using this tool. To do that, we're going to go into the format, and we're going to go to the merge shapes piece. And in here, we're going to use the subtract, like so. And now what you're left with is a box that literally has that chunk taken out of it. So now we just have to line these pieces up just right, and we should be good to go. Kind of like so. So let's move on to the next piece, which is this icon here. And there's 4 lines in here, but ours is bigger, so we may need 5 lines, but basically it's 1. I'll make that shape outline black. We'll copy that and paste, paste, paste. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. I think we're going to go ahead and put another one in there. There you go. And again, what we'll do is we will select all of these, and we will, under the Format tab, align them all to the left, and it looks like they already were. And now we're going to distribute them vertically. So now they're even through the image. So let's take this, shrink that one back, take this one, make it bigger, make that one bigger, and make that one bigger. And there you go. Now we have that icon right there. So now we're up for the last 2, which are the lock icons. So let's look at this. So this is a rounded rectangle again. This is probably a circle, and either a rounded rectangle or a smaller circle. I'm going to use a rounded rectangle. And then the lock piece here can either be just a circle, or I think the better answer is a circle with a square, and then we'll create a shape out of that, and we'll use that, and then we'll crop off a piece to create this. So what are we going to do? We're going to create our body of our lock, like so. And this time we want that body to actually be white because we're going to need to hide a thing behind it. So we're going to fill it with white, and then we're going to give it a shape outline of black. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create this little keyhole. And we're going to do that by creating a circle in the middle here. And that shape fill will be white with a black outline. And now we're going to use our rounded rectangle to create the body. Kind of like so. And we'll give that one an outline, and that fill will have no fill. Now, you can see there's a problem here because these items cross, and you don't want that. So what we can do is we can line up our body piece here where we want it. So kind of like that. And we will select both of them. There we go. And we'll go back under our format to our merge shapes. And what we actually want to do is create a union out of them so it becomes one object. And there you go. And that's how you get rid of the line. You make a single object out of it. So now it's lined up inside of our lock, like so. Okay, now we need to worry about this handle. So that is going to be kind of a circle. And see how if you just use the circle and you don't actually use the rectangle that goes with it, you get kind of a weirdness that happens. So what we want is a rectangle, kind of like so. Let's move this whole thing down. We'll zoom out a little bit. We'll bring this down here, and we'll kind of put this up there. That's about where we want the arc to be. And we'll line up that on the edge, and we will line that up to the edge. Okay? And now, when we shape fill this with none, and we give it an outline of black, we get that. Right there. Now we need to combine these shapes to remove this line. So what we're going to do is we're going to select that and that. We're going to go under Format, Merge Shapes, and we're going to union them, just like so. And now we can either adjust this so that it sits like that, or we can just let it sit in the back. We can move the whole thing down like so, and then what we'll do is we'll take our lock piece and we will send it to the back like so. Now remember, we made this solid, so therefore you won't see it. Now we can adjust this however we want to get it to the height that we want, like so. Now the next bit is to remove that little piece to create the unlock icon. So to do that, we'll copy this and we'll paste a new one. And we'll come over here. And now what we're going to do is we are going to put a, can do this one of two ways. We can put a box in front of it and just literally cover that line, or we can put a line on top of it that's white and cover the line. So we're going to do the white box first. So we're going to bring a box in here, drop it right on top there, and we're going to give that box no outline, okay, because you don't want a weird outline shape there that's going to be there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fill it with white. Now what you have is you have to adjust it very carefully to make that work. See how that little line there wants to peek out at the bottom? Well, you don't want that. So it'd be something like that. You know, when you zoom out, you're not really going to see it, and now you do have an unlock icon, and you can even raise it up to make it more. Another option, like I said, is we can delete that box, and we can just put a white line here. So that white line would go kind of straight up and down like so, and you have to put it in place, and then you give it an outline of white. And as you move it, you'll see it. You probably need to thicken it up just a little bit. Kind of like that. And then we move it. like so. Wants me to have it thicker, like so. And there you go, same result. And again, you can group them all together. And now you can move it around and you don't have that problem. And that is how you make icons.